Have you ever wondered what steps you need to take to prepare your home for market? My name is Ryan Rodenbeck. I'm the broker for 𝗦𝗨𝗆 Realty, and this is my associate Matt Edwards, and we're going to cover that on today's show.
Now that the client knows they want to sell their home, what is the first step for them and their agent to do to prepare the home to be listed?
Yeah, so the first thing that you want to do is get your timeline set, okay? Figure out what day you're going to actually want to sell. And the reason this is really important is because, you know, if you're following our advice, we like to list most of our properties throughout the year between January to May. Okay, and if you look at the seasonality of a market report, and that'll be in the description box below the video, there is a seasonality of the market consisting of the best times to sell in Austin, which are February, March, April, and May. Okay, so you want to get that timeline set.
What then needs to be done to start preparing? You know, do they need to start like 6 weeks out, 4 weeks out? You know, what's kind of the timeline and what's kind of that first initial step that needs to get done? Yeah,
that's a great question. We like to err on the longer that you have, the better. The very first thing you're going to get done is schedule the staging consultation. We are big believers in the staging process. And, you know, at 𝗦𝗨𝗆 Realty, we're such believers in this process that we include it with our service at no additional cost. So the very first thing you're going to do is schedule the stager to come out and do the staging consultation.
Staging consultation set up. What does that entail?
So the stager is going to go in, and I like to call this kind of like a business plan for your home, right? And what she's going to do is go through, you know, first work at the curb appeal on the home. On the very outside of it, things that need to be done, you know, as far as flower gardens and landscaping and painting doors, things along those lines. And then she's going to go into the house and go room by room, and she'll have a page of things that need to be moved, things that need to be repaired, or things that need to be upgraded if there's a budget for that, okay? And, you know, when it comes to staging, you know, the more that you can do, the better. The stager has communication with the listing agent on, you know, what the situation is with the seller. You know, the listing agent has probably already talked about this. They already have some kind of idea. Then what the stager is going to do is, let's say it's, you know, the house has been remodeled 10 years ago and it's got this granite that could be replaced, right? She's going to communicate with us, the listing agent, and they're going to see, all right, if we were to spend $5,000 on replacing the granite with quartz, how is that going to impact the sale? Okay, so the way that we look at things is, you know, she will take the staging consultation form and put everything that needs to be done on there, communicate with the agent to see if these three things are done, is it going to affect the price? Is the return on investment going to be worth what they put in?
The point of, I guess, staging is to maximize value in the home, right?
Yeah, it's to maximize the value. It's to eliminate any objections. You know, our stagers are certified in psychological staging, okay? And what that means is we want them to go in and imagine, we want the buyer to go in and imagine themselves in that home, right? So they don't want to see anyone else's family. I mean, this studies have shown that this really works, and we've seen it time and time again. We want to depersonalize the home. We want to remove religious paraphernalia. You know, this is a multicultural city. There's lots of religions that are coming here that may not be in line with your own. So we'll just take all that out and we're going to show it like a model home, right?
Right.
And then make sure it's decluttered as well. Less is more in most cases.
So yeah, definitely. So it sounds like definitely declutter, organize, and then stage.
Yeah, that's right.
Say somebody's watching this in Oklahoma and they don't have access to 𝗦𝗨𝗆 and our interior designers and the consultation. What 2 rooms should they focus on putting money if they wanted to try to tackle this, you know, on their own? Sure. And they didn't have the resources available to them.
Well, yeah, so, you know, with staging with us, a lot of renovation comes with it, right? So I think if you're going to put a budget into, you know, what renovations are going to make the most bang for your buck, it's definitely going to be the kitchen and the master bath, right? Those are things that people really want to see updated if possible, and that's where most of your money goes to make a big impact.
What do you do, or how do you work with the sellers to coordinate, the work getting done, on time, on budget, things like that?
So that's tough when you don't have the experience with it. With our company, we facilitate all that for the client, and they don't have to worry about it, right? We don't push that on them. We don't make any money on that, right? We only make the money when we sell the home.
Okay.
But we've also found that if we were to give our customers this big list and say, here, go hire a contractor, it's overwhelming. So we want to take them from the A to Z on this process. So we use our contractors that we've used time and time again. It's not a perfect process 100% of the time, but in almost every case, it's going to be better than the homeowner trying to figure this out themselves. So to answer your question, we do it for them. And if you're working with a different agent, I think you need to have the expectation that that agent's going to be able to guide you in that process.
Go in, figure out what needs to be done, hire the appropriate contractors. All the client has to do is pay that bill.
Yeah.
We coordinate everything.
Yeah.
And then as far as staging goes, what type of staging services do you provide? Any furniture or anything like that?
Good question. And so the answer to that is when we stage a home that's occupied, what we'll do is we try to use the seller's furniture first, okay? And the way that we do that is we'll go through and see what of their furniture works. And we've gone to homes where people just don't have that sense of style, and we've only taken a couple things and we said, look, move everything out to the garage or a storage unit and we'll cover the rest. And if we're working with a homeowner that does not have any furniture, maybe they've moved or they want to move into an apartment while they're looking for a home, that happens, then we'll stage it for them. A lot of times with other companies, there's a cost associated with that. With us, there's not, but you just need to know about that.
Good, because that was my next question. How much does it cost? So it sounds like it's included in the listing agreement.
It is included with us. Now, I will tell you that it's becoming more common for a consultation to be included, but with most companies, it's a very limited consultation. They don't do any renovations or they don't do much. But with us, we cover all of that stuff. And quite frankly, you said something about it being turnkey. It's not always turnkey, but with a top producing great real estate company, it should be. So if you're not in Austin and you're looking for a company that's going to do the best job for you, consult this video and ask questions about what's included, because not everything that we include is going to be included everywhere else. But the agent you hire should be able to guide you through the process of the renovation, the staging, and all that. And they should have vendors. That's what a top producing quality agent does. So,
for out-of-state people watching this video, it sounds like, they should definitely interview multiple agents, find out what services
are included in the
listing, and I guess not necessarily focus on what agent comes in and says, hey, your home's worth $10,000 over the next agent. It sounds like the goal of staging and getting it ready to sell is to generate awareness for the home.
Absolutely.
To get max value.
We could have a whole nother discussion about pricing, but when it comes to, preparing your home, the basics are you're wanting to hire an agent that's going to help you from A to Z, right? That's not going to give you a whole bunch of stuff that you have to go figure out on your own, right? Okay. And you can find that in any market in the country.
Home's ready to go.
Home's ready to go.
What's next? What's the next,
Yeah. So the next step is you complete all the items on the list. I mean, you do have your own. We don't do everything for you. We don't, remove all the stuff. We don't have furniture removers, although the girls do move furniture in. But you're gonna have to find a place to, take your pictures and store them, and the furniture that we're not going to use, you're going to put that in storage. You're going to declutter, depersonalize. You're going to make sure that the vendors have access to the house for painting or anything that we do along those lines. And then after that, the very next thing is to schedule the photos and the video.
Everybody in today's world has an app with Zillow. By far, Zillow's the highest traffic real estate, website app out there on the market. We've all come across homes with bad pictures, or no videos. How important is it to get a professional photographer and video done?
Yeah, it's the most important thing you can do, right? I mean, you don't even get a staging appointment if you're not going to follow it up with great photography and great video. So, when it comes to video, that's a pretty new thing. It's been building in real estate in the last 2 or 3 years. We've become big proponents of it for several reasons. One, homes on a website that have video, or homes on Facebook, or homes on YouTube, have about a 400% higher engagement rate, okay? Which is very, very important.
That's huge.
Yeah, another reason that we do that is because Zillow is going to push the listing to the very top with the video. Now, here's the difference. Any agent can get the Zillow Premier app and walk through the home with their iPhone or their Android, but it's going to be shaky video, right? So what we do is we either get a production team in there that's going to shoot a high quality video, or even on lower price listings, I've got a 4K GoPro with a stabilizer so that we can at least get high quality image that isn't shaky, so that when the video is pushed to the top with Zillow, that people actually want, they like it, they see it's high quality, they want to click on the listing, they get more information, and that gives you more exposure in your home. Now, we're talking about scheduling the photos and the video. You can't put the video onto Zillow until it's actually listed, okay?
Okay.
So, and the last thing that we do in the preparing your home process is, you're wanting to allow 5 to 7 days for coming soon pre-MLS status.
What do you do in the lead up to the going live day?
Yeah.
And then how does that translate into opening weekend?
Yeah. So first of all, the reason we do coming soon is not so that we can let people in your house and sell it off market. In fact, we adamantly advise against that, right? You'll see a lot of agents saying, I sold a home off market. That's really nothing to brag about, because it doesn't give the market a chance to respond to the property. What we're doing is building demand, okay? We used to do it 2 weeks in advance. Now we do it 5 to 7 days in advance. So we target that day that we're gonna list, which is always Thursday afternoon. We've been doing this for 5 years. There's been about 3 articles come out in the last 2 years that say Thursday is the best day to list, because the automatic searches that agents have by default, if it's not changed manually, has the listings going out the next morning at 5 a.m. So if we list Thursday afternoon, they get it Friday morning. If you list Friday afternoon, they get it Saturday morning. So we list on Thursday afternoon, and so you back from there 5 to 7 days, and you do the following things, okay? You're going to do a Facebook ad that brings traffic to the site. You're gonna do an e-flyer to as many agents as possible in that area, okay? You're going to list on Zillow as coming soon, which has to be done manually. Yeah, the agent has to have a Premier account, right? It's not automatic. And then you're going to list in Facebook agent-only groups on Facebook, okay? And then the last thing that we do a blog with the photos, the video, and the 5 things that we love about this home, all right? The reason we do that is because we want to build an audience in Google Analytics, so that if we don't sell that home the very first weekend, then we can retarget that. Kind of like when you go to Amazon or Home Depot and you look at an appliance and it starts following you around. We're doing that with listings. It's very cutting edge. I mean, the idea, we want to, the whole coming soon is that we want to build the demand, and that when we open that floodgate, hopefully on Thursday afternoon, that we have people running into each other. But we also want to take the steps that if we don't sell it that first weekend, we can properly retarget everyone that looked at it. Does that make sense?
It does, it does. So the home goes live on Thursday, all the pre-marketing's done. Open houses that weekend.
Yeah.
Are any ads run or anything? What's done to kind of help promote the opening weekend open houses?
Well, okay, we're going to go over that in our, I'm glad you said that, it's a good segue, but we're going to go over that in our next video. Before we take off for the day, I want to show you that we have the 5 essential tips for selling your home in the description box. You can click on the link right here to go to our next video, which are the steps to list your home that you and your listing agent need to take. So we will see you right here on this channel in the very next video.